Welcome to the show. Well, you have to clap.
Scene.
Yes. And that starts.
Is that what professional acting is all about? Is
yes.
Scene.
Yes. But when you're acting, you have to do other people's words. You guys get to do the same song over and over and over and over and over and over again.
And over again.
As a comedian,
doing it in your underwear.
As a comedian, I got to write new material every year.
Right.
You know.
Isn't that the same with wrestling, though?
I got to write new material every match.
Every match? So let me ask you that.
But I only had 2 moves, so it didn't matter.
You did only have 2 moves, yes.
There you go.
You're the only man in underwear that I admired.
You haven't seen me in underwear, though.
The night is young.
Let me ask you, so when it comes to in wrestling, is there I don't know how we ended up here, but
real.
No, I know it's very physical and very real, but do you know who's going to win?
Are you serious?
Yes.
100%.
Okay, so
I know it's Christmas time and everything, and everyone believes in Hanukkah, Harry, and Santa Claus and all that, but wrestling might be predetermined, yes.
Right, okay. So do you practice what you're going to do in the ring before?
It depends on who you are, literally. I mean, if you've been there for 100 years, like Hogan, anybody remember when I wrestled Hulk Hogan? And so the stipulation to wrestle Hogan is that I have to beat Scott Hall earlier in the night. So I wrestled Scott Hall, and then I go to talk to Hogan about the match. So I walk in his room, and Hogan had been in the business for 115 years.
Yeah.
His tenure is unbelievable. So I walk in the room, and I had just been in the business 6 months, and I looked at him and I said, "So, Mr. Hogan, what would you like to do?" And he goes, "Don't worry about it, kid. We'll call it in the ring."
What does that mean?
That means that we're going to do it on the fly.
Like, is he whispering in
and
your ear?
And he's whispering it, well, not like, "Hey, buddy." But yeah, 100%. He's talking to me and telling me what we're doing while the match is going on. And I was completely terrified.
But he definitely leads.
Well, yeah, especially, yes, I'd only been in the business 6 months, but even if I'd been in the business 600 years, you follow Hulk Hogan. You do whatever he wants. And so what happens? We lock up, and he pulls me in a headlock, and he has Icy Hot underneath his armpit. Right? And so I can't see the rest of the
old
match.
Icy Hot under the armpit trick.
I'm going to remember that.
You heard it here first.
Randy Rogers did that one time. It was weird.
Didn't it make your set? How'd you read your set?
Yeah, it was a hold my beer and...
Damn.
Hold my beer and smell this.
Hold my beer.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Didn't go that far.
So, Icy Hot.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, you get to the arena. I'm really ruining it for anyone who truly believes that there is some realness in.
Well, nobody watches our podcast, so you're good.
Okay, good. So in that case,
everybody that watches the podcast, they're fucking here.
So you walk into an arena, and you go in the locker room, and there's a board, and it's right when you walk in. Everybody sees it. Goldberg versus Hogan, 20 minutes. Goldberg. So Goldberg versus Hogan is the match. It's going 20 minutes, and the winner is whoever is written up there. And so you work backwards.
In this case, you.
Yes. So you work backwards from it, and you compile a match that's going to take that period of time. You try to tell a story in that period of time with certain moves. And like I said, I only had 2, so it really didn't matter for me. But, yeah, I mean, it's a terrifying process, especially when you're in your underwear in front of millions of people. So,
now,
yeah, it kind of sucked.
When I was in the business as a writer, I met several writers that wrote for WWE.
Yeah.
Who decides that you beat Hogan?
That night it was Hogan.
Hogan decides.
Hogan decided. Well, yeah, at the time, it was the Monday Night Wars, WWF against WCW. WWF historically is known to be run by Vince McMahon. When you get a guy like Hulk Hogan in the business, who is arguably the pillar of professional wrestling, when he comes to WCW, an upstart company that is led by younger people, you follow his lead. And so he was running hot with that NWO bad guy character, and you're only as good as a wrestler as your opponent, right? And so they needed some big, monstrous, ugly dude like me to beat him. And so I fit the bill pretty well, and I did. He chose to do it, and it was a perfect move for the business at the time. And he's very unselfish.
Did you
He's a
ever
business
do
guy.
the unselfish thing and decide to let somebody beat you?
No, I was never in a situation to where I made the call, right?
Really?
At
You
the end
never
of-
made a call?
Well, I mean, I made a call a couple times, but that was different. The fact is that they never paid me enough money to be also a producer, right? So you pay me to be a wrestler. I come up, I show up for work, I see my assignment, and I try to do it as best as humanly possible. I don't get into the, hey, well, I should win this time, or let this. Although, during the streak, and this should tell you a little bit about me, during the streak, and I wasn't the biggest wrestling fan growing up, so I don't really know how rabid these fans are. Well, I didn't at the time. There was a guy named Bobby Heenan, okay?
I don't know who Bobby Heenan is. Anybody,
You're too young.
Yeah, you know Bobby Heenan?
So
This guy's very into it, right here.
yeah.
This guy, that guy right there is like, I know who Bobby Heenan is. I can tell.
So, and there was also a guy named Bobby Eaton, right? And he was a wrestler. And it was his birthday, and we were doing a house show. And a house show is a non-televised event, which is basically, if you got Vegas Saturday and you got LA the next Saturday, you'll do a small town, maybe a gig
In between.
in between, right? So that's what dark show or house shows were. So they're non-televised events. It just so happened to be in his hometown, and it just so happened to be his birthday.
Oh,
And he taught me a lot in the business. He was extremely unselfish. He gave me every bit of knowledge that he had. And I wanted him to beat me on my birthday in the middle of the streak, and they wouldn't let me. And I had no idea why.
well, they had to build this huge.
Yeah, but it was his birthday. It was his hometown, and nobody'd see it.
But every time
nobody
somebody
in the audience is gonna know
Every
that
time he
you're-
came into town, it was his fucking birthday. So he's like, let me win. It's my birthday.
I'm just saying,
But they didn't let you, even in a dark.
100% no, because it would have gotten out. It was before the internet was a huge deal in wrestling, but yeah, it would have gotten out, and I would have been a sham because the streak was.
How many were in the streak? If I recall, 70.
I think 170. I think
170.
I think I beat like 5 guys at least 5 times a piece. I mean,
Insert dirty joke there. Go ahead. Thank you, Wade. I know you saw it.
They started making opponents up after a while because there weren't. I don't think there were 170
But
guys on a roster.
did you know that they were going to turn you into the Did they already tell you hey, we're going to do something huge with you?
No, it was all organic. It just happened. I was a professional football player who looked at wrestling. I turned my nose down at it. I never appreciated what they did. I never aspired to be a wrestler. I was a real dude. I wanted to play in the NFL. I was trying to kill guys for real, not acting like it on TV. And then when my accountant called me after I got out of the NFL and said, listen, man, you might want to get off your ass and go make some money, then I chose, it was an option, right?
Right.
And so I saw Sting, and he and I became really good friends, and he was a family man, and he was great with the kids, but he was this character on wrestling, right? And so I'm like, if this dude can do it, you know what? Frick, I can do it. And so I did. And I put my pride to the side, and I ran around in front of millions of people in my underwear.
They were really cute black underwear.
Thank you very much.
So, Wade, tell us about your tour bus.
How do you segue from...
How do you follow stories like this? I will say though, man. You keep talking about ruining for people, but the movie The Wrestler was a great movie.
It was
And
a lot. There's a lot of truth to that.
That's what I was wondering. It seemed like there was a lot of truth behind that movie, and you may be winning, but you guys go through hell, right? I mean, it's brutal.
The best
right?
way I can describe being a pro wrestler is you're a rock star and a professional athlete built into one, right? So you go to different towns every couple days, and you party like your head's about to blow off.
Are we getting sound? Make sure you're talking to the mic, sir.
Yeah, especially when I say something like that.
Sweaty balls, sweaty balls.
But like I said, you're an athlete and a rock star, right? And so you're physically you're on the brink every night, but you have to go out and do your job. But then you have to be a man of the people, right? You've got to go out and mingle with everybody and make new fans. And I mean, it was a great deal. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it is very taxing. My first year, I was on the road 215 days a year.
215 days.
Jeez.
Yeah,
But-
it's crazy.
Did you?
It's crazy.
When did you have your son? Before or after the career?
No, I retired. I met my wife when I did the Santa Claus movie, and then that was my
Great movie.
last match. It was a good movie. I met my wife. Other than that, I could care less. But
you met your wife on that movie.
I met my wife, and then I went back and I did WrestleMania 20 with Brock, and then I retired for 12 years.
Well, and then there was a match where you came back with your son.
Well, yeah, because we had a kid, and he's like 5, and everybody always asked him, "What'd your dad do?" And so I'm like, you know what? Forget all these answers, and let's just show him. So I went back at 500 years old, beat Brock Lesnar in 90 seconds, and had a nice little run for a couple years, and I got to provide my son and my wife with a front row seat of actually what I used to do. So I mean, for a guy like me in show business, which we're all in, it's few and far between opportunities like that to be able to retire and then come back and then show them firsthand what you did.
So you essentially just took them on tour with you.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't be married if I would have taken her on tour with me, but yeah. Whoa.
Edit that, cut that. We can cut that. This is not live.
Thank y'all for coming out. Go have a good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Merry Christmas to you all. We raised a lot of money. Renae, show me your
Ruined a
crotch.
couple families.
I'm just saying.
No, but was there a different, like my son, it's funny because people go, oh my God, you go on stage for a living. That's very hard to do. My son and my daughter, they walk on stage like it's nothing because they see me. Like to them, it's like, well, that's what Dad does. Was there
But
a
how about
change in
pressure?
him?
How about pressure? They're not old enough to feel pressure.
Yeah, they don't feel
know
the
stage fright.
Exactly.
They just think you walk up and people watch.
The first time was this year. We did Fort Worth, and I think it was 3,200 seats. And I told my son, I'm like, hey, come out here, come see the audience. And for the first time, I saw him go, oh, yeah, I don't want to sing. Like, I mean, that's the one time. How about your kids, Wade? Were they just like, are they do they sing? Do they?
Yeah, no, they do, and they're really good. And they got up, same thing. They got up when they were real little, like it's no thought, just jump right up, everything's cool. As they got older, they stopped wanting to be on stage, in front of people. Actually, my youngest son, he's 15 now. He just went out with me this past summer for a few shows and played drums with me, and that's the first time I've gotten him out in a while. But
Wow.
He got up, I told him, I was like, we'll do sound check, and if you suck, you're not playing tonight. And he was like,
And he was
"All
like,
right,
well,
fair
you
enough."
play every night, Dad.
Yeah,
So,
Like, I can be better than you, so I'll be fine.
yeah, I'm all right.
I've heard your music. I can play drums with this. This is fine. But he crushed it at sound check, went out there in front of a huge crowd in Kansas City, and huge crowd, because that's all I played for, huge crowds. But he just got out there like it was nothing and just,
was there
because drums is different from a guitar player or a bass player.
Oh,
or a
you
singer.
got to keep the beat.
Well, you got to hold the band together, and that's he was 14 at the time. You're thinking, man, I'm asking my 14-year-old son to hold the band together, a professional touring band, whatever. And he did, man. You can't hide behind the music. You gotta play the drums, and he did great. He came out 3 nights with us and did great.
As a dad, I mean, obviously you're worried, you're nervous, but there's got to be a proud moment, right?
Oh, it's the proudest you can be. It's just like, man, I mean, he just absolutely crushed it.
I have no idea what's going through Bill's head right now.
Even if he'd have fallen apart, it still would have been proud that he even tried, So it was cool. It was fun.
So this is how
We only let
proud
him
I
play one
was.
song.
I don't know if you know this, but Gage, before I retired, I had a feud with Bobby Lashley.
Who's Bobby Lashley?
Exactly. And
This guy knows. He's as big as Goldberg? Really?
absolutely, he's also 20 years younger. I used to eat guys like Bobby Lashley when I was big. Now I just let my son eat those people. So the funny thing is that Gage, so Bobby came in, I had a feud with somebody else at the time, but it was backstage at wrestling, and he comes in and he gets along great with Gage. And so he asked if I would throw Gage into the fray, right? And I'm like, I don't know, let me ask Gage. And so, long story short, San Antonio, Gage's football team was on the front row. Bobby was messing with me, and then he gets up in Gage's face. So fast forward this to in Vegas, the new stadium. We had a pay-per-view, and I'm getting beat up by Bobby Lashley, and Gage jumps out of the stands, jumps in the middle of the ring. Now, this was planned, obviously.
Right.
Jumps in the middle of the ring, jumps on Bobby's back, and Bobby proceeds to choke him out.
Oh, shit. That's my boy.
Choke him out, right? So he has to act like he's choked out. So I'm over in the corner hurt, but I'm watching my son to make sure he's doing everything correctly. Well, he's smiling. So I started.
He's like that. This is so cool.
I started laughing over here because being proud of your son, and I'm choking Gage. So I got his shirt, and I'm behind him, and I'm consoling him, but I'm literally choking
his ass
with his own shirt, so he stops laughing.
Right. You're like, stop.
So I was very proud of him at that moment, right? So
That's pretty good.
Hey, what do you think, this is a game? Bro, take this shit serious.
Serious. This is real shit,
You have
man.
to take the fakeness seriously.
Yeah, please. Right, babe? Listen to him. You have to take.
I try.
Oh,
I think she meant that to you.
Yeah.
You have to take the fake.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, what happened to the drummer that your son replaced?
Well, he only got to play one song. We're not going to get carried away here.
Oh, I mean, you're like, take a day off. My
Yeah.
son's going to play.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, he's going to have to learn, you don't just get to get on stage and play for thousands of people. You got to play for 2 or 0 for a long damn time before you get to, you got to earn it.
How long has your career been?
I've been playing for 27 years now, 26 years. Yeah.
Sleeping
I mean,
in
the
the car.
Beatles were only together for 8, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good, brother.
With the Beatles again. Yeah. Who's George Harrison?
Worst show you ever did?
Worst show?
The worst show you ever did?
Flatbed trailer outside of Lubbock in a city called Post.
You know Post?
I was like, are there people from Post here?
No, this guy was like, I was
She's
the
from
one.
Post.
She goes, I was the one person at the show.
Yeah.
That was.
My piano player at the time was right when we first started. He's like, I got us a gig. And we're all like, of course, back then you're like, yes, we
Let's
have a
go.
gig, anything, we'll take it. And we played outside of a bait shop.
Bake shop.
What?
Did you say bake or bait?
Like Kevin Fowler bait shop. Beer, bait, and ammo.
How many people?
That's worse than a bake shop.
Worse than a bake
How many?
shop.
How many people?
I don't know.
Other than her.
I try to put it out of my mind.
But those are the ones that don't go away. I did a show, Midland, Odessa. They call me up, new comedy club. I'm like, I'm in. What are we doing? I get there. Behind the stage, they had a twin bed. And they were like, that's where you're staying. I go, where am I going to shower? They had a water hose over a pipe in the kitchen over the grill.
Nice.
You know, and I would shower in there, and then I'd put my shit on, and then 8 people would come and perform, not knowing that I had not made my bed. There was in the back. I'm like, this comedy club fucking sucks, but I'm doing a gig. It's a gig.
Stillwater, Oklahoma. One time, after a show, I paid for a hotel, went inside, went back out in the car, and slept in the car.
I've done that.
I didn't even ask for my money back.
Yeah, I've done that.
You're like, there's only porn on the TV, sir.
Well, I would have stayed if there was that.
What's that?
What?
Well, but
Sorry,
Bill,
what?
Bill, did you have to
happened?
do the
Blacked
mom
out
and
for a second.
pop wrestling things too, or you pretty much went straight to the show?
Yeah, I mean, I did that right in the beginning in Orlando at Universal Studios. We had a show, I think it was Saturday morning or something, and that was my territory, right? That's where I went and I kind of learned. But I did most of my stuff, or it was all dark matches, so I actually wasn't televised until I was on Nitro on Monday night. So yeah, I mean, but I came from the NFL, and I mean, it was a
What's more of a rush?
football.
Football for
kidding,
sure,
right? Yeah,
But can
1,000%.
you
Because
hear
your
the-
life is completely on the line every single time.
But do you hear the crowd more in football or more in wrestling?
Oh no, I never heard the crowd in football. I didn't. That wasn't part of it. It was just the physicality of, I don't want
A car wreck every
every 18 seconds. I mean, there's just something innately brutal about that, and I just love it. And then wrestling. I mean, wrestling was great because, and I said it in my Hall of Fame speech, but
Fucking drop that. Shit.
it's fake.
Hey.
It's fake. So it's a fake Hall of Fame. I'm
My
not
bad.
saying it like that because of that.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Shit.
I'm just saying.
My
that
name's on the Comedy Store wall on the Sunset Boulevard. I'm just saying.
My only reason to want to be in the NFL was to be somebody that kids could look up to. Period. End of story.
Well,
But
you're 7 foot. They always look up to you.
But I realized that as I was doing my speech at the WWE Hall of Fame, it was more important, and I would reach more kids if I was doing the WWE thing. So it kind of came full circle, and I didn't appreciate the business. I didn't look at it in any other way, shape, or form other than a money-making business. But it gave me the opportunity to do the one thing that I really wanted to do that was more important than money, that was more important than fame and titles. It's reach kids.
1,000%, man.
And that's
And
truthfully all I wanted to do.
since the day I met you, Bill, you were one of the most kindest person with your time.
Thank you.
I mean, anytime I'm with Bill, they usually ask for my picture first, and then no, every time I'm with Bill, Wade, he's a presence. And when he's somewhere, people know he's there.
And
but
you give with your whole heart.
Oh, you
You're
do.
So,
and
so warm.
it's such a beautiful thing. And just so you guys know, when Bill and I first met and started talking about our love for veterans, this was born because we both love veterans. And Bill said, I am in. What are we doing? How do we do it? So I just want to give Bill a round of applause for that, man, because it's awesome. So,
Thanks for always being so
Just
willing
at
to help.
at the end of the day, no matter who you, I appreciate it very much, and I do. I mean, I try to put myself out there so much that I don't really have time for myself at times, and we're all like that. But the reality is, no matter who you are, no matter what you chase, no matter how hard you chase to get to that pinnacle that you're at, it's all about giving back.
has to be.
I mean, truthfully, it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
and especially as blessed as we are, right?
Absolutely.
I feel selfish sometimes that I get a paycheck after doing exactly what I love to do, and also what I did for free. Me and my road manager, we laugh because we go, I would have done this shit for free.
well, you're not getting paid tonight, so. I mean,
No, I'm not getting paid tonight at all. But Wade, I wanted to talk to you for 1 second because I have one question, and then if you could be so kind
Sing.
to grace us with a couple of songs, a couple of songs from Wade Bowen. Yep. One of my favorite songs is Who I Am. I love that song. However, I have to ask you about one lyric.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what lyric I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Why that lyric? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, you're talking about the ladies lyric.
Yes.
So that was the third song I ever wrote in my life.
No shit?
Yeah. And I had no clue what I was doing. Still really don't, but I'm hanging in there.
But 28 years later, you're figuring
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good.
No. But I wrote it, at the time I was writing the song about what I thought love was. I didn't know how to put that really into a song. The song came out truly just a love song about being in love with somebody. But it really was about what I thought love was down the road. Because I was 19 years old when I wrote it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea you wrote
Yeah.
that song at 19.
Yeah.
Is that one of those that you just wake up and you had it?
Well, no, I mean, back then I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, like, really, I mean, no joking around. We all look back, like Guy Clark said one time, he said, this is the first song I wrote that I kept. You know, it's like we throw them, we should have thrown them all away. I got that first record that I made that it's discontinued years ago. I never want anybody in the world to ever hear it.
That's like you with your first comedy album.
I have a comedy album that I wish would fucking disappear.
I wish it would too.
Yeah, I made it disappear. I was like, nope, not doing
Not
this
happening.
anymore. So actually what you're hearing on that song is a live recording from the Blue Light in Lubbock, Texas. That's the one that's being played the most. But through the years, I've recut it a couple of different times and changed that lyric.
I know that I've noticed that there, have you know what I'm talking, there's a different lyric there, and I told my wife I love the song so much, and we listen to it, and I hold her hand, I go, you know, and then there's that part, and I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I've heard it before with a different lyric. Why that lyric though? At that time in your life?
Well, because I was just like, it was my shitty, terrible way of saying I've been around, but I'm settling down with you, kind of thing. It was just I didn't know how to write songs.
Oh, never mind. I do like it. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah,
it's a terrible lyric, like terrible way to put it, but it's definitely better than Josh Abbott saying there's blue bonnets in the summer. So there's that.
True story. True story. Yeah.
We all have, when we're first writing songs, there's, you know, we're very blessed in the scene to have, like, especially the day and age we live in, where these younger artists can write songs, record them immediately, and put it out, like literally within days.
Right.
And it wasn't that way when we first started, but you still could get it out there on an independent level, you know, a lot quicker. And so, you know, we probably should take our first 5 years of songwriting and not ever put it out in the world, but we do, because
because I always talk to my wife about this. In this business, if you don't believe you're good, you'll never get in the business.
Right.
So
it's a hard business.
Yeah, it's a hard business, but you have to think, man, I deserve to be in front of people because I'm good. And if you don't have that attitude, then you don't get on stage.
Right.
You have to have a certain amount of ego to get up and keep trying.
Yeah. I guess you do. Especially songwriters and comedians too, like you're writing your own stuff, you know, so you're pretty much standing up there naked most of the time, just laying your heart out there going,
Well, I have a stool, and that's it. Yeah. You at least have a guitar and a fucking band.
Yeah.
Right? Bill's got his underwear. Before he sings, I need a Crown on the Rocks, please, because I got to have a drink to listen to Wade Bowen sing. So if I can get a Crown on the Rocks. But
I agree.
I sound
one for the big dog, too.
I agree, because I sound way better when you drink.
And
keep drinking.
So that song which is the song that for you was like, aha, I have something here? That connected with the fans, that just kind of almost changed your career. Was there a certain song, or was it just a grind?
Well, that was Who I Am is the most popular song still to this day. I've tried to like write love songs, because we all have songs that we're like, damn it, I wish I didn't have to sing that every night, you know? No offense to everybody who loves Who I Am, but it's just we all have those songs like, man, that was the third song I wrote. I never really thought it was that great. And then all of a sudden, I've learned in my career, it doesn't really matter what we think.
Exactly.
It only matters what they think. And I can focus on songs and focus on albums and try to do the best I can, but you know, it only matters at the end of the day whether people want to listen to the song and they want to come out to the shows. And so I've tried to write more love songs that I think are better, but it's never topped it. So that was been the most popular. That one and a song called Till It Does on the first Hold My Beer record that Renae and I did. And then, but I think the changing, like the biggest song was Saturday Night for me, because that was the first time I was on a major label, first time I had the major publishing deal, like first time I had everything right in the palm of my hands like I wanted in my career. And I had that song, you know, moving up the charts and all that, and then still.
Can I brag about you real quick? Number one on the Texas music chart right now. Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
But that song was the one.
Well, Saturday Night was like, you know, it was the kind of introduction to the rest of the world. I've been playing Texas music and all that up until that point. So that was the first real, like, charting song, and kind of got me out to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. And so that was, I mean, still to this day, every time we play it every night, it's not the most requested song, but it's the one that everybody goes, oh, yeah.
I know that song, yeah.
So,
favorite stage to ever?
I think it's the only true karaoke song that I have. If you go do true karaoke anywhere in the country, Saturday
And I hope
night's
you
the
don't.
only
I hope
one.
you fucking don't do karaoke. Anybody here, shame on you.
We're doing karaoke after the podcast, y'all.
Yes, after the podcast.
Yes.
We're doing all Randy Rogers songs. We're gonna do Blue Bonnets in the summer. Fuck it. But favorite stage you ever set foot on?
Red Rocks.
Really?
Yeah. It's the prettiest stage I've ever
That's
been.
an amazing stage.
Yeah,
Especially for music.
Yeah, for music and just the history there, but just standing on that stage is absolutely gorgeous. It's magical. I mean, actually, I really love the scenery and everything, the feeling you get at Red Rocks, but there's a magical thing about the Ryman in Nashville as well.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, because as a Texan, you know, even though we're new friends, when I see Texas artists step on that stage, it makes me so damn proud.
There's a more
You know,
magical.
It really does. It really does.
Well, there's a magical thing that happens. There's a feeling you get when you play the Ryman, for sure. The room sounds good. It's historically, I mean, for me, when I first started out, to me, the greatest honor I could have ever, the number one goal I had for me in my entire life was to play the Grand Ole Opry, and that's where it all started. So to be on that stage where it all started, and the room still sounds amazing. You feel like you're in church, and there is a special feeling on there. Red Rocks is the
walk
prettiest.
out on those like wood planks.
Yeah,
you know?
to hear it. Yeah, the first time I ever played the Ryman was they did like a early show, because every once a year they go back to the Ryman. The Grand Ole Opry goes back for a month, and they went back there, and so they did a matinee show during CMA Fest week or whatever they call it, and so they asked me to come in and do that. And the cool thing about the Ryman is they still have the stained glass all along the top, but you can't see it when you're on stage at night. But during the day, it's perfectly beautiful because the lights are coming through there. And my wife and my kids had flown in, and for that deal, it was like only my second time to do it. And I played a song I wrote for my kids, there that night. It was just like, man, that's just good.
Magical.
As it gets. Yeah,
It's
I'll never
beautiful.
forget that day.
I was so upset because, we played, that's definitely a round of applause, yes. I was,
It feels weird getting sentimental next to Goldberg.
yeah, well, he'll take care of that here in a minute. But I finally got to play Nashville, and they offered the Ryman for me to play. It wasn't available, so I ended up playing the State Theater a couple doors down, right off of Broadway. But I told my people, I said, I gotta play the Ryman. If they're doing comedy there, I gotta do a show there. You beat me to it. Amazing. Without further ado, you mind singing a couple? Sing whatever you want. Now, you know what we want to hear, but sing whatever you want. Gus, you think that microphone will be best for him, or do we want to put him on?
You want me to sing like this?
Well, we can put the mic up there if you like. What do you prefer? Can we get him the mic in front of him so that he doesn't have to sing like a weirdo?
I don't care. Here we go.
You okay?
I am a professional. Do not try this again. You gotta turn this on. There you go. By request.
Again.
I love to watch the sunset as it fades behind the trees. Love to talk with God as I pray down on my knees. I love the times I spent with my family and friends. Love to dream about all the places I've never been. I love to watch you laugh and smile. I love to watch you dream. Love it when you take my hand. Let me know you believe in me. I love it that you're my girl. I love that I'm your man. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am.
Woo!
Well, I've always loved you, baby, and I may not always do what's right, but I love that girl, how we make up each and every time that we fight. Like so very much. I love you more than words can say. Now I don't know how or why, but I love you more every day. Now I love to watch you laugh and smile. I love to watch you dream. Love it when you take my hand. Let me know you believe in me. Now I love it that you're my girl. I love that I'm your man. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am. Yeah, I love to watch you laugh and smile. Oh, I love to watch you dream. I love it when you take my hand. Let me know you believe in me. Now I love it that you're my girl. I love that I'm your man. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am. Ooh, yeah. Oh, now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am.
It's such a good love song, Wade.
Can I brought an extra set of panties, and
For me or for you?
for both of us. We both brought. You ever have, Bill? You ever have like a buddy of yours?
There's no. Whatever it is, it's no. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, you ever have like a buddy that comes to your house with a guitar?
No.
And then he sings, and then you think he's good, and then this fucking guy sings, and you're like, oh, that's fucking good.
And then you bring up two pair of panties? I don't know.
Well, I'm wearing one of yours, so we're
I didn't call them
fit?
panties, I called them briefs.
briefs. Your briefs.
Just like it's not a doll, it's an action
Now,
figure.
am I the only? He's got them with him, and he tells the kids, "Where did I touch you? Show me on my action figure.
Wow.
Show me on my action figure."
Man, you dug deep for that.
It was fucking funny. All right.
Leave it to
I-
Steve to ruin a sweet moment.
I mean,
Touche.
maybe I'm not in the Hall of Fame,
Sweet moment with the song and the love and all that. Good job there, bud.
but I hope we're not recording any of this. This is
When's your special again?
as a 19-year-old to write that song.
Yeah.
That's just what I kept thinking.
Dude, I
Well,
might.
I had an imaginary girlfriend at the time who was really smoking hot.
No, but you know what? I got teary-eyed because Steve and I started dating when I was 19. So I hear you sing that song, and then I'm like, well, there is love like that at 19, you know?
You know, it really is crazy though. Like Ray Wiley Hubbard taught us, you better be careful what you write because you may have to sing it forever, and it's very true. I never imagined I'd be singing a song that and every single year I do handwritten lyrics, and every single person requests me to write who I am. It's a part of people's weddings, and I'm like, damn, shit, that's the song I'm known for, you know?
But that's like doing TV. We're doing a movie and then filming the rehearsal, right?
Yeah.
Because the rehearsal's always freaking better than
Every
any
time.
shot you're gonna do, right? So that's kind of an analogy.
But
you
you-
really
you-
weren't overthinking it.
But
No,
you're
I
still
wasn't at
able to
all.
sing it with passion.
Yeah. No, I do love the song. And I don't mean to, I'm definitely not talking bad about it because it's like I said, I'm bragging about it because it still does amazing things for my career. It keeps me afloat. It's just, I look back and think, man, I work so hard. I love writing songs. I love to do it. I do it all the time, and it's why I release records, you know. So I've worked really hard at the craft, and it's just funny to me to look back and think, man, that's still the one people want to hear, and that's amazing. Cool. And you're right. I probably didn't overthink it. I just put it out. And,
Yep.
It just came from your heart.
How about a round of applause, huh? It was amazing. Another one?
yeah. Can we do something, I don't know, fast, slow? What do you want here?
Man, it's your call. Today, no requests. No requests today. Anybody got a request?
How about,
Do what you want.
this is newer. We go really old school with the first one, then we're gonna do it. If I were magic, you'd be mystery. We'd keep 'em on the edge of their seats. If I were a mystery, you'd be a sweet song, always bringing the best out of me. And every song I sing, oh, gotta rise when the rain comes down. Gotta dance when the band's downtown. Gotta get lost to get found. Gotta love when love comes around. If you were Memphis, I'd be Elvis. Every day I'd buy you a Cadillac. If you were a sweet song, I'd be the midnight. We'd drift away like morning ain't coming back. It's a shine on, baby. Gotta rise when the rain comes down. Gotta dance when the band's downtown. Gotta get lost to get found. Gotta love when love comes around. Yeah, when your love comes around, gonna wrap my arms around you, baby. Gotta pull you close. Gonna hold you when the world gets crazy. Never let you go. Well, honey, you're my proof of heaven, my paradise now. Well, I believe in everything when your love comes around. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, gotta rise when the rain comes down. Gotta dance when the band's downtown. Gotta get lost to get found. Gotta love, yeah. Oh, gotta rise when the rain comes down. Gotta dance when the band's downtown. Gotta get lost to get found. Gotta love when love comes around. Gotta love when love comes around. Well, I love when your love comes around. Oh, yeah. If I were magic, you'd be mystery. Keep 'em on the edge of their seats. Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Fucking A, huh? Wow, that's why I got in this business.
Got a front row seat.
Now, Bill's going to sing one next.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Well, at this moment, to wrap it up, we would like to take questions from the audience. Feel free to ask anybody up here any question you like.
Well, not any question.
Any question. Now, we are here to raise money, right? And if somebody would like to pay a donation to Helicopters for Heroes for Bill Goldberg to Helicopter Wade, we will take some money for that. I'm just throwing that out there. All right? I'm just throwing that out there.
When did I segue into an amusement park ride?
Yeah, well. So if anybody wants to take care of that, we'll make that happen. Anybody have a question, please come on up and ask any question you like. Oh, you got a request from the back. One more song, Wade. She said it demanding.
Is that a question?
Yeah. She said it like now. Do it now.
She did.
Yeah. Well, we all want it.
A lot passion behind that.
God, nobody says that shit to a comedian ever. Come on, Steve. Another dick joke. We all want it. Like,
Give us more jokes.
shit on Bill again. We want it.
Who wouldn't want that?
They don't have to go to the mic. Raise your hand if you have a question. You don't even have to get up. Yes, in the back. I saw somebody raising their hand in the back. Did I?
Right here behind the camera.
Oh, right here. Yes, sir. I know who. Let me guess who you're going to ask a question to.
So Goldberg, I know you went from WCW to WWE. How was it? What was the difference working for both companies?
So I have to repeat the question so that people at home know what's going on. What was the difference between both companies? Because you were at WCW and WWE. What was the big difference?
The best way that I can describe is WCW was run by the inmates. It was. I mean, you know anything about the wrestling business at the time? You got Kevin Nash. You got Scott Hall. You got Hulk Hogan, 100%. Then on the other flip side of the coin, you got the 800-pound gorilla, which his name's Vince McMahon. So, I mean, as long as you go into Vince and make sure that every idea that you have sounds like it came from his mouth, you know, you're good. But I had a much better. Yeah, exactly. I do that now with my. Yeah, we all do that with our wives if we're smart.
800-pound gorilla, you say?
Well, yeah, I don't describe Wanda like that usually, but honestly, man, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I had the time of my life at WCW. It was awesome. We were killing, you know, WWE, and it was like a small band of brothers against this big conglomerate, right? But a lot of those brothers were deceitful and villainous, right? So, I'm describing a lot of likenesses to our women that we call our wives.
Question right here.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. He's getting up.
My wife's favorite wrestler. She's loved you long before
Thank
we
you.
ever.
You are the only one in the world that's ever said that.
Are you his
God.
celebrity pass?
Two-part question.
Two-part question. What is this, the fucking UN? What? Got a two-parter, sir.
Do you your relationship with Vince McMahon? Do you like him as a person? Like, is he all
like
right
Vince?
with important stuff? And then the second part, bringing up another wrestler, Sting. Did you have a relationship with him? Do you like Sting? How is he?
100%. You know, I'll start with the second question. Sting's the reason why I broke into the business. Sting set a great example, and he's about to retire in February. And I tried to be a part of his retirement match, you know, but I wouldn't have chose to get in the world of professional wrestling if it wasn't for Sting. He was don't take offense to this. He was a normal dude who went out and did abnormal things, right? Wrestling is like being in the circus. I mean, it truly is. So I never looked at it with much respect. But after I watched him from afar, I realized that I had the ability to go do it because he was a man.
Performer.
Well, he was not only a performer, but he had self-respect and he commanded respect, and it's really hard to describe it, you know, because Steve Borden, Sting, is one of the best human beings on the planet, and he set an example for me, and I just tried to grab the torch and run with it and make him proud, you know. So
From what I see,
I sound like a corny motherfucker.
No, you did it.
I mean, really. I mean, I apologize for that, but I mean, that's the truth. I mean, I love him to death. The
Now,
best
do you like
match
Vince?
I've ever had. Well, I'm taking my time getting to that. But I mean, I had the best time of my life in the ring with Sting. You know, the match that he and I had, and I mean, Sting. I'll never forget. Sting took me to NASCAR when WCW sponsored NASCAR 8 years before I got into the business. You know, I mean, we were just friends. I used to train at his gym. He and Lex Luger owned a gym in Atlanta. When I was with the Falcons, I used to go in and bend all his bars.
Bragging again.
They
How many?
hated me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying they hated me.
I break toilet seats, bro.
Oh yeah. That's a different one to brag on. But, now segue into Vince. Vince is like Dana White. right? He's the big boss, and he makes everything happen. But in all honesty, he gave me the opportunity to put my wife and my son on the front row and gave me the ability to perform again in front of him. So I owe him everything until we went to Saudi Arabia, and he asked me to put Roman Reigns over, and I had COVID. And I remember calling him from my house here, and I said, listen, here's the deal. I'll do it if you give me a retirement match. And I had COVID.
Who gave you COVID?
Frickin', you know who gave me?
I know.
Fucking Fluffy gave me COVID. I'm gonna squeeze that dude.
And by the way,
head pop off.
He doesn't have a neck. But by the way,
Fluffy gave me COVID. God, thanks for bringing that
no,
up.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Gabe. All right, one more.
But hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
But obviously, he never. I did what he asked. As a performer that runs around in his underwear, you're very I was 56 years old when I did this, right? So, as a human being, you're conscientious about how you look in a bathing suit, especially 2 months prior to you being in that bathing suit in front of millions of people. You couldn't work out for 2 months because you had COVID.
From Fluffy.
So I put myself in a horribly shitty situation to get what I wanted to, but to satiate him and to give him what he wanted. Problem is, he never held up his bargain. So Vince is a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned.
You heard it here live, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Another question. Do we have another one? Yes, sir. The man in the red shirt over there.
That's the bottom line.
Georgia plays Texas next year.
Fuck Texas. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I went to Georgia. I'm kidding. I went to the University of Georgia, right? So I give me a minute here. I saw that on the schedule. Finish your question.
What's the score going to be?
If neither one of them are seriously pursuing my son for a scholarship, so fuck both of them. No, I'm ecstatic that game is going to happen, and I'm very happy that it's going to happen in Austin.
Can we get him some more Crown, please? This is going to be awesome. And some popcorn.
Yeah, I need some popcorn.
Get some popcorn.
Another question. One more. Yeah, yes, right here, young lady.
It's true. I don't lie.
Hold on.
My brother, when he was alive, was a huge Wade Bowen fan. The thing he always said was Wade fucking Bowen. So I had to say it for him.
Her brother passed, and she loved Wade Bowen. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Two-person question.
Coolest person you ever got to party with after an event?
Ooh.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
It's going to happen. I'm predicting the future.
Wade Bowen, ladies. My wife, coolest person.
Yeah, say your wife. You better, dude.
No, hanging out at the Comedy Store in L.A. was one of the coolest experiences of my life because everybody wanted to be there. I mean, I met Eddie Van Halen. I met Anthony Kiedis. I mean, you name it, I met him.
Rock stars want to be comedians, and comedians want to be rock stars secretly. So when they hang out together, it's cool to watch.
And a lot of times, after the comedy show's done, all us comics hang out, and then whoever famous is there continues to hang out. So one night we're all hanging out, and Willie Nelson and Stevie Wonder are there, and Stevie gets on the piano in the main room, and I watched Stevie Wonder and Willie Nelson put on a drunken high concert for an hour. And this one over here is like, are you coming home? I'm like, bitch, maybe not. I don't know. Like, it's 5 a.m. I got Willie Nelson and Stevie Wonder playing the piano right now. And
you been on his bus?
I have. The best part was that at the end of the night, everybody's wrapping it up, and they sing 7 Spanish Angels together. And I just remember, and it was crazy to me because as a Texas boy, you know, I'm loving every minute of it. And then you got these other comics that are kind of over the fact that they're playing. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, do you not see what's happening here? So that was one of the like really cool moments in my life as a stand-up. But, you know, not to get dark here, but to be, you know, invited to be at the Comedy Store, you know, when Bob Saget passed and we had our memorial there, and when Robin Williams passed, and to be in the back of the room at those memorials and to see all these great comedians go up and talk about these people, and just for me being a little kid from Gregory, Portland, Texas, you know, thank you, but it's just, I don't know if you guys have these moments where I'm sitting in the back going, is this my life? Like, this is absolutely amazing to be a part of this. And Jim Carrey's walking on stage, and you know, all these legendary comedians are walking on stage talking about their relationship with Robin, and I'm in the back going, I'm invited to this. Oh my God. So I've had a lot of great moments at the Comedy Store, but I will say that, no bullshit, me and my wife as drinking buddies, ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. That's the truth. Yep. Nothing better. She don't drink much anymore, so it's rare. We gotta, last question. We gotta wrap it up, and we gotta keep you guys for a little while.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds? You hung out with Birdie?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that one.
Burt worked with my wife. My wife was a stunt woman, right? And so she worked with Burt for years. And we went and did the longest yard, and I walked right up to Burt, and I was like, Burt, my name is Bill Goldberg. And he goes, I know who the fuck you are. And I said, okay.
Hall of Fame.
Oh, I was in the Hall of Fame. So I said, Mr. Reynolds, you might know my wife. And he says, who is that? And I said, her name is Wanda Ferriton. And he goes, you mean blue eye? Or you mean brown eyes? And I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. How well do you know her? And we talked for a second, and then we shook hands, and I walked off, and I got about 10 steps away, and he goes, hey, Goldberg. And I turned around, and he says, you know, I respected you before, but now that I know that you're married to brown eyes, I respect the shit out of you.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, Burt was absolutely one of the coolest. He was freaking Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, man. Yeah.
You know, the only bad part about him is he gave me his agent, and he was worthless. Shit. But other than that, Burt,
but he didn't give you COVID, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wade with the closer. Let's go. That concludes the podcast. Give it up for my special guest.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us tonight.